Welcome here, everyone. We're so excited to have you. My name's Elizabeth, if we haven't met before. I'm very excited to be hosting today's webinar. These community webinars, especially the 12 days annual ones, are some of my personal favorites to host. I love the chance to join the community team and, of course, you all as our FME community. If this is your very first 12 days of FME, get ready. You're in for a treat. And if you're more of a seasoned veteran, I know Mark Ireland on our community team has been putting these together for years. Well, then you already know how much fun is in store for you with this contest. Mark's really outdone himself again this year, so we can't wait to kick things off with you. All right, so let's get started. Before we set off, I'd love to take a moment to shine some light on the stars behind the scenes over in our FME community. We have these four folks on our FME community team: Danielle, Brian, Mark, and Cree, that make up the team. They come up with all these fun FME community initiatives like the 12 Days of FME contest and many, many more things that you'll get to hear about in today's webinar. And I also want to take a moment to acknowledge that while Mark Ireland was unfortunately not able to join us today, he has dedicated a lot of time once again this year into pulling together this contest for all of us to enjoy. So a huge thank you to Mark, and I'm sure you will get the chance to hear from him more as the contest goes along over in the FME community. I know Cree later is going to share a link where you can chat amongst yourselves as the contest goes on. All right, so for today's webinar, we're joined by a few wonderful members of the FME community team, Danielle and Cree, who you'll be hearing from throughout today. And then we also have a special guest joining us. Evie is here to share a little behind the scenes at how this year's contest was actually built using FME. So if you're curious about the technical magic that powers the treasure hunt, stay tuned for that. But for now, let's get started with some introductions. I'll pass it over to each of them to introduce their roles. Yeah, we can start off with Danielle.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle. If I haven't met you before online or maybe even in person, great to see so many familiar faces in the chat. I lead the community team at SAFE. I've been here since May 2024. Time has definitely gone by really fast. But yeah, as Elizabeth said, I think the 12 Days of FME is one of our favorite things we do every year. Mark has created something definitely hard. I think this is going to be a good challenge for everyone. But yeah, excited to kick things off with everyone and share with you more about it today. And I'll pass things over to Cree.
Thanks, Danielle. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cree. I'm a community specialist here at SAFE. So I'm supporting all things community. I am quite new to the team, so this is my first 12 days of FME, so I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, and that leaves me. Hi, I'm Evie LaPalme, and I am a technical support specialist. I'm now a team lead as well on the forum side, and my team works closely with the community as well as support tickets as well. So you might see me there. I've been at SAFE for just over 3 years, and yeah, I'm very excited about this new 12 days.
Amazing. Thank you to the three of you. Yeah, and before we get into things, just briefly here, if you're newer to Livestorm, maybe you've been around the FME community for a while, but maybe this is your first webinar with us. If you do have any audio or video issues, just to note, we do have that help button on the bottom left. You can click that and it'll take you through 4 simple steps. The first one is just a simple page refresh. It usually takes care of most issues. We have the react button, especially for this webinar. It'll be fun to see everyone's reactions as we go along, so feel free to make use of that. I've already seen some come in, which is great. Yeah, that fuels us. Love to see how everyone's feeling as we go. The questions tab. So on the bottom right, you'll see that as well. We've already gotten a couple of questions. Maybe I'll just address those now since they're kind of key to the webinar. So the first one is just about downloading the slides. Thanks, Arthur, for letting me know. So you should be able to download the slides using the apps and then handouts button in Livestorm, or you can click the download button on the top right of the PDF. And then also, if there's anyone on your team or that you know of in the community that's not able to make today's session, we will be able to provide a recording to anyone who's registered, or they can find it on our safe.com/webinars website by tomorrow as well. And then lastly, our chat. So on the bottom right there, you'll see a lot of people have let us know where they're tuning in from. If you have yet to do so, please let us know. We love to see where everyone is joining from around the world. And then just once again, to reiterate, if you'd like to download the deck, you can click that button on the top right. Amazing. Okay. Yeah, so just here's a quick look at where we are headed today for today's webinar. We'll start with a look at the FME community. Danielle will take us through that and walk through some of our new community initiatives, including some exciting recent additions that you have likely not heard about yet, like brand new, just exciting. And then from there, Cree is going to take us into how the 12 days of FME Treasure Hunt actually works, what's new this year, how to place your guesses, and how to score any bonus entries. And then we're ready to get started with the hunt. So Danielle will walk us through how to get started and give us the opportunity to start hunting together at the same time. We'll take a moment there. And then after that, Evie will pull back the curtain and give us a peek into how the entire treasure quest was built using FME Flow. We'll go over that briefly in case anyone's curious. And then finally, we'll wrap up with some resources, next steps, how you can continue to engage with the contest as we go through the 12 days here. And then we'll have some question time at the end. So if you do have any questions during the webinar, just a reminder, definitely don't be shy, get those into the questions tab. Awesome. So we always like to give a quick snapshot before our webinars of the FME platform, which is powering our 12 Days of FME contest once again this year. So if you're newer to the platform, FME is our all data NEAI enterprise integration platform. It allows for flexible deployment options. FME Form is the authoring environment where you build your data integration workflows, and then automation is provided in FME Flow, which is deployed on-premise or in your private cloud. And then we also offer FME Flow deployed in a fully hosted environment called FME Flow Hosted. Amazing. And then as well, I'd like to highlight a little bit about us here at SAFE. So we've been in the data integration game for over 30 years, working with over 25,000 organizations around the world, with over 200,000 of you as our users worldwide. Okay, so from here, I will hand things over to Danielle to take us through introducing the community.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Based on all people's names, I think many of you are already members of the community, but if you're not, or if you need a bit of a refresher as to what we're all about, well, first off, definitely encourage you to go visit the community at community.safe.com. That's where you'll also find this 12 Days of FME game. But a couple of reasons why to join, or maybe why to go back and check it out if you haven't been on the community in a while. I think probably the biggest thing is the fun, kind, helpful people who really just love FME, love to share. We really hope it's your go-to spot for all things FME, whether you're new to using it, or you're a pro, you're an advanced user. The community is a great spot to get help. So many of our members are really ready to troubleshoot and assist you if you're running into issues. A great place also to expand your knowledge. So many users are sharing how they use FME, so you can learn, get inspired, see the potential. And of course, it's a great spot to connect globally. We have over 43,000 users from around the world, and you can build valuable connections there. And a little refresher of what you'll find on the community. I'm sure many of you have used the forums. It's your spot to ask and answer technical questions. Our ideas page is where you can submit and vote on ideas for product improvements. And we actually really updated this page over the last year. And so our product team is in there all the time, really actively considering these ideas to incorporate into the product. And there's a lot more transparency now as to where they are in development. Our product release page, with every release, we do a feature highlights article, and Mark on our team also does various video demos from the latest releases. And 2025.2 just went up yesterday, so I encourage you to check it out. Our events page highlights both SAFE and partner online and in-person events. And of course, we have fun and games. Many of you, I think, have answered our question of the week. Mark is always creating different games and quizzes on there. And through the community, you can also find our blog, our knowledge base, and of course, there's the leaderboard. So you can earn points by contributing to the community, whether you're asking questions, answering questions, coming to events like this. We'll share at the end today how you can also get your webinar badge by coming to today's webinar. And so if you're not yet a member of the community, you'll actually need to sign up for an account in order to participate in the 12 Days of FME, but you can do so at community.safe.com. And I'll pop in the chat. If you haven't had a chance to, please introduce yourself on the introductions thread. We have all sorts of people chiming in there as to where they're located, what they do for work, how they use FME. And of course, feel free to ask or answer questions in our forums. The resources tab at the top of the community is a great spot just to get to know us better, get to know more about the community, how to engage. And thank you so much for participating in this year's 12 Days of FME. Before we dive into the contest, as Elizabeth said, we've launched so many new things in the community over the last year. So we just wanted to give you a quick overview in case you don't know about them, just so you know what's going on. You're getting the inside scoop here. One of the things we launched are virtual special interest groups. If you've ever been to our user conference, like the Peak in Seattle this past year, we often do in-person special interest groups. But as our user conferences don't take place every month, every quarter, we wanted to do something virtual to kind of offer that connection in between our conferences. So currently we have 3 different groups for utilities and energy, local government, and airports and aviation. So they're private groups on the FME community that anyone can request to join. I'll pop the link in the chat if you would like to join. You're not yet a member. And so basically these private groups, it's a way to connect with other people within that industry. We do virtual meetups probably about 3 times a year. We just did our meetups in November. And so the meetups are an hour long. We give a bit of an update from SAFE on the technical side, but really we have 2 to 3 customers present their own use cases. And so I would say compared to a webinar, goes a bit more technical, a bit deeper, and really just a chance to deep dive and see what other people in your industry are using FME for. And a great spot to collaborate and meet other people doing what you do. Another new program we have is the Early Adopter Program, and we launched that just this past summer. And it's really a collaborative space with our product team. It's a chance for users like you to provide early feedback on features, drive innovation, and help shape the product roadmap. We will be doing another round of applications in winter 2026. And so you can learn more about the program at the link in the chat. And if you're signed up for the SAFE newsletter, we'll also send out an email when applications open. And then the last kind of newer project is the Breakfast of Champions. I know we haven't hit every city that everyone is in, so you might not have had a chance to come yet. But the Breakfast of Champions is our in-person meetup series. It's really a spot for you to connect with other data enthusiasts and also with our team. In 2025, we hosted 11 breakfasts throughout North America and 1 in the UK. So we are planning more for 2026. Stay tuned for that schedule. Would love to see you there. Typically, we have Dawn or someone on our team present and share what's new at SAFE, what's the latest in FME. And then again, we have customers present their use cases, and then also time for networking, chance to enjoy a delicious breakfast. So we hope to see you at 1. But I've also popped the landing page for that in the chat, and I think there's a spot to sign up for notifications when our new schedule is released. And then one last thing is just kind of a roundup of all the other community programs. There's lots going on. As Elizabeth said, I think we love to create new things and find different ways for people to engage with each other, learn more about FME. Cree just launched something called the Webinar of the Month. And basically every month we're going to feature a different webinar, and it's a chance for you to discuss it both before and after. We do our question of the week, our user spotlight. I don't know if Clifford is on the webinar today, but this was his user spotlight. Every month we highlight a different community user and just how long they've been using FME for, why they joined the community. And this summer we did a community bingo. We just wrapped up our annual user survey. And when it comes to kind of more technical knowledge, some great resources to check out are our product release page and our video demos. We just started doing a must-read quarterly picks. Basically, it's like an article we produce every quarter that kind of rounds up all the new content that's been released by SAFE, because I know it's hard to keep up. And many of you might already subscribe to Mark's What's Up Wednesday on LinkedIn, but if not, another great resource to just see what's new in the world of FME. All right, and I think with that, I will pass things over to Cree.
Great, thanks. All right, so the reason we're all here, how does the contest work? So starting today, running until December 12th, we're kicking off our annual FME Community Winter Contest. And this year's theme, of course, is a treasure hunt powered by FME Flow. So you'll solve puzzles and follow clues in the search of Greenbeard's long-lost pirate treasure. Once you think you've figured out the location, you can pin your guesses on our world map, and the person who lands the closest to the treasure will win one of our grand prizes. So we thought it would be fun for everyone to come up with your very own pirate name. So feel free to drop yours in the chat, and you'll be entered to win an FME swag prize, and the winner will be announced at the end of the webinar. So you have time to think about it as well.
Yeah, but feel free to chat that in, and I'm going to be working on the back end to randomly select a winner from that chat storm. So, but maybe bonus points if you have a creative name. You never know.
I know, as you said that, I was like, oh my God, it's kind of hard to think of one on the spot.
I know.
And we do the question. Oh, but I see some coming in, so that's fun.
Awesome.
All right, and how to play. So to take part in the contest, the first step is to log into your FME community account. And if you're new, you can also just create one. And from the community homepage, you'll see the 12 Days of FME link, and clicking that brings you to the main contest hub. There you can read the lizard's backstory and start by jumping into your first puzzle. Each puzzle you solve gives a clue that helps narrow where Greenbeard's treasure ended up. And as you work through more puzzles and start feeling more confident about the treasure's location, you can head over to the Make a Guess page and officially submit your guess. So your user dashboard will keep track of everything, your solved puzzles, your guesses on the map, and how many guesses you have left. You can also check out the contest dashboard to see how other participants are doing and compare. And if you want to connect with others playing along, there's also a dedicated discussion thread in the community page where everyone can chat. And now I think Danielle will go through a demo for us as well.
Yeah, I can share a little bit more of not behind the scenes, a front-looking face of the contest. Though seeing these names is so funny, what people are sharing. I feel like the creativity, maybe the coffee's kicking in, depending where people are.
Yeah.
The creativity is coming. Well, everyone should now have access to the contest. It should be live on the community, visible to you, but I will share my screen and just show you how to find it and just give a bit more of an overview as to what Cree touched on. So if you go to the homepage of the community, you do have to be logged in. So just make sure your little icon is showing up there. And if you scroll down, everyone should now see this 12 Days of FME banner. If you don't, if you can't seem to access it, let us know in the chat and we'll troubleshoot it for you. So if you click check it out, that'll bring you to the contest homepage. This is where everything lives. Yeah, so as Cree mentioned, for sure, read the lizard backstory. There's, I think, a little bit of chat GPT creativity going on there. But Mark crafted a pretty fun kind of background story, and you should know sort of the history of Greenbeard the pirate lizard before you dive into the puzzles. So you can read more about the lizard there. And then the puzzles board is really where the contest lives. So this is your treasure hunt board, your main hub for treasure seeking. I have a slide that dives a bit more into the different types of puzzles, so I'll cover that in a second. But basically, yeah, this is where you solve the puzzles. It'll track which ones you have solved. And so with each puzzle, you get a clue to make a guess as to where you think the treasure is located on the map. And so once you're ready to make a guess, or if you just want to make a random guess and leave it up to FME, you can do so on the Make a Guess map. So either, yeah, pick a location, guess a location, or you can click random. And you do get 12 guesses to start, but there may be some bonus guesses throughout the contest that you'll earn as you go along. And if you're curious as to what other people are doing, Mark has created a heat map. I know he's done it, so you can't really see specifically where other people have guessed, but to just give you a sense of where other users are placing their guesses on the map. And you'll also be able to see how many people are participating, how many guesses have made to have that kind of that fuel of competition. And a little hint for everyone, I know we're also going to share another clue at the end of this, but definitely encourage you to read the how to play section. Mark has kind of scattered some clues, hints, and tips throughout this, so it's a great page to refer to. And then if you'd like to connect with other users, I know last year with the 12 Days of FME, we had lots of great chat going on. We do have a dedicated 12 Days of FME forum, which you can just find under forums, 12 Days of FME. Our first post is live in there. So if you do have any questions that come up after the webinar, feel free to post on this, this thread. And I know Mark is also planning to share kind of some updates throughout the contest. So this is a great place to chat with other users. Yes, and as Elizabeth said again, bonus hints coming at the end of the webinar. So good reason to stick around.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the slides. Yeah, so a little bit more about the puzzles. Mark is really the mastermind behind this, and so if they're super hard, you know who to blame. But the puzzle board is your main hub for treasure seeking. So here's where you'll find all the puzzles you need to uncover the clues and get closer to Greenbeard's hidden fortune. There's 4 types of puzzles to test yourself. The first type is codes, so cracking secret codes to reveal hidden clues. The second type are FME puzzles, so using FME to process data and unlock your next hint. The third type are image puzzles, examining mysterious images to extract the secrets within. And then the last type are geography, so answering geographic questions to discover new clues. Puzzles in each row must be solved in order, and you cannot move to the next puzzle until the previous one is completed. And they also increase in difficulty from left to right. And so the more challenging the puzzle, the more precise and accurate the clue that it provides. And then again, once you're ready, head to the Make a Guess page and you can submit your guess of the treasure's location. And you'll start with 12 guesses, get bonus guesses along the way. And the closer your flag lands to where you think the treasure is, the better your chances to win our prizes, which we will share in a second.
It almost reminds me of a Jeopardy board, the way it's like easy to hard, different squares.
Totally. I feel like they're all hard.
I thought the same, Danielle. All right. So general gameplay. So as we've mentioned, with each puzzle, you'll end up with a keyword, and then you pop that keyword into the answer box. And if you're right, you'll get a clue. And all of those clues stack up to help you figure out where the location is. And just a heads up, some of the early clues are pretty vague, So maybe you don't want to burn through your guesses right away, and maybe wait until things make a bit more sense. And as Danielle said, you start off with 12 guesses, and you will have, you might have the opportunity to gain more as you go through the contest. And honestly, if puzzles aren't really your thing, you can totally just throw out a random guess, see what happens. Who knows, it might be your lucky day. And just a quick note about AI. Obviously, we can't stop anyone from using it, but Mark did design the puzzles to be pretty unfriendly to AI tools as much as possible. So they won't always pick up on everything. And some puzzles have extra hints and bonus guess opportunities hidden in them. So AI might miss those. So you might be better off just, doing it on your own.
I see some people based on the emoji reactions. Maybe that was their planned strategy, was AI.
I know Mark was like driving himself crazy trying to find puzzles that AI wouldn't solve like right away. So there's been effort put into this to make it hard. And I see Matthew had a question that just came up, and good timing with the make a guess page. He asked, will you see how good your guess is? And Mark says, no. So that's a simple answer to that one. So I think we've already covered the making a guesses page. So I will move on to the next one. Yeah, I already gave you a look at the contest dashboard. So the prizes, of course, we couldn't do a contest without having some prizes. So technically we have 3 grand prizes. So the people who, the top 3 people who are closest to where the treasure actually is, get their choice of really cool puzzles that Cree found. So you'll get your choice of either a large stump craft or hay puzzle of your choice. So again, those are kind of the top 3 players closest to where the treasure is on the map. We do have a consolation prize for the worst guess. So the person who guesses the furthest away from where the prize is. I think we did that last year with the balloon race, but it was like the person who hit the most airports or something. And we've also got a prize for most puzzles solved. And for anyone who participates, there are 4 different contest badges available, and they'll be automatically awarded depending on your level of participation, how many puzzles you solve. And yeah, as we shared before, we do have that dedicated forum to connect with other users. Sorry, I think I've popped like a million links in the chat, but I might as well put that one in too. So you can find it there just under forums, 12 Days of FME. And so with that, I think many of you might have already visited the page because I could see the number of users climbing that were participating. But now is the time to ready, set, and start hunting for your treasure. And so if you haven't already, head to the community, either sign up for your account or log into your account. And then you can click on the 12 Days of FME banner from the community homepage and start playing. Oh my God, someone already completed the first puzzle. Wow, that was a lot faster than us. So solve your first puzzle, or if you want to just make a random guess to kick things off, whatever strategy you do. Wow, Michael's already on his second. Okay, we're being put to shame here, but that's awesome. You'll never sail alone. Oh, it's very, very motivated. Awesome. All right. Well, please let us know if anyone runs into any problems accessing the contest, and we'll troubleshoot. But it seems like people are solving their puzzles and accessing it, which is awesome. Okay, I know the chat's going off, but keep on accessing it, and I will pass things over to Evie to give a bit of behind the scenes as to how Mark built this.
Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, so a little bit of behind the scenes. It was mentioned that FME Flow is used in the back end. Yes, FME Flow is used, and workspaces and webhooks are used to integrate while you to check your answers. And this is why no, it doesn't tell you if you got it right or like whatever or how close you are, because it's just a quick test to see if it is correct. And then some puzzles also require you to use FME to complete, and then others it might actually help you. FME might help you to solve it quicker. Here is a little bit of the structure of how it works in the back end. So like when you submit your answer, it's on the puzzle page, it'll call the webhook to trigger a workspace to check the database and then come back and display your response. So this is a little bit of that workspace here. So you can see that it uses a database joiner to see if you've already answered this. That's the first thing. So a good tip, I think this is on the page as well, but if you just go and answered something, anything, and you've already answered this puzzle and you got it right, it will just display you the right answer afterwards. So that's a tip there. And then after that, so if you haven't already done that and solved it, then you can, it'll say like, is it correct? And then feed that back. Yeah. Oh, and then they're streaming services as well in Flow to stream that back. So yeah, the general structure here is, yeah, so AI did suggest the database structure of like what attributes to have, what columns to have. And yeah, I said to have it taller rather than wide. And that's also just, I think, best practice with trying to process a lot of data with FME. It's easier to do taller. And there is a separate repository for each puzzle. You could try to guess the name of the repository name, but you wouldn't have the credentials, the tokens to connect to it. So thankfully that is safeguarded, so you can't cheat that way. And then each puzzle has, yeah, a unique and non-guessable name as well. So each check is added as HTML forms and workspaces. Yeah, and it checks to see if you have any guesses left, and that stops it from being manually run. And yeah, the page content is also generated by FME from the backend. So yeah, that's a little bit of the back end stuff and more of the behind the scenes and how it actually works. Now this is, I didn't go over on how any of the puzzles were made. That will be revealed at the end, probably in January. So we'll share that later. So I'll pass it off to Elizabeth.
Very cool. Yeah. So I'll go over some resources here. And in a minute, just a reminder, we'll close off that contest for getting in your pirate name, bonus entry if it's extra creative. And then while the team goes through some questions and maybe starts looking at the community for who's already started joining, maybe we can chat about that a little bit or something. I will on the back end draw a winner from there, and then we'll announce it at the end here. But yeah, in the meantime, to go through some resources, we're all about free resources here at SAFE if you're newer. I know we have a lot of new folks new to the contest this year, so maybe we also have some new to FME or the FME community. We also have our FME Academy, which has free instructor-led training, so I'd encourage you to take a look at that. Our knowledge base is home to many how-tos and demos. It's a bit of a gold mine of information. And then as well with our webinars, we have hundreds available on demand. So you're welcome to browse through those depending on what you might be looking to learn more about. And claim your community badge. So if you are a member of the community, which I think most, if not all on this call at this point now are, as part of the contest today, you can redeem this badge as a thank you for joining us. And I will drop that code and the link in the chat. Actually, it's just the community homepage. You just scroll down and then plug it in on the right side. You'll see a place there. But yeah, you can plug that code in and redeem it in the community. And we also do have, at this point, we will go ahead and share those bonus clues as an extra thank you for joining live in today's webinar. So the first clue is to visit the puzzle board before redeeming the webinar code. So it will give you an extra guess in the contest. And then the second clue, and I'll put these in the chat as well, or maybe Danielle will. I can see she's copying it now. And then the second clue is to read the how to play page. It has lots of useful information. Everyone got that? And we'll drop that in the chat as well. Okay. So with those clues out the door, we'll go through some next steps here. Sign up for the FME community. If you haven't done so and you haven't started with the treasure hunt, you can still go ahead and do that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the community team, community@safe.com. And then, of course, we've got that forum going as the competition goes on. I think maybe, Cree, do you want to share out that link again? I know we had a link for chatting as the contest goes on. And with that, let the treasure hunt begin. All right. Yeah, so I'll pass it back over to the team. We can go through the chats or the questions here as I look to pick out a winner from the pirate name contest on the back end here.
I'm excited to see who our winner is. Lots of great ideas in the chat. I think we'll have to do like a roundup of these on the community. Super fun to see.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Doesn't look like there is any other questions, but yeah, please feel free to pop any in as Elizabeth is choosing our prize winner here. And as Evie shared, we will do a bit of a kind of a recap of the contest and get some more behind the scenes directly from Mark as the contest wraps up. So for sure, if you're curious as to how he built it, there will be other opportunities to learn a bit more. Oh, someone is asking the steps to claim a badge. I can show people. I might as well just share my screen as we choose the winner here. So basically the way to redeem a badge is if you go to the community homepage and if you just scroll down under redeem reward code, you put the code in there and then click submit the code. But as we shared with one of the clues, if you go to the puzzle board first, before you do that, it will give you an extra guess. Oh, and thanks. Someone else shared the code again. That's awesome. All right. I think we're good for questions. If Elizabeth, if you want to share our prize winner.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm just finishing up on the back end here. Just bear with me another few moments. A bit of a, maybe we need a drum roll. Maybe we need a drum roll going.
I really should have added like a, I don't know, like a confetti slide or something to the deck. Just imagine it, everyone. We can do some reaction emojis. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Do celebration emoji to.
Does anyone else have a favorite name from the chat? I don't know if the rest of the team has browsed through them. There's some pretty creative ones.
It was hard to keep track, and I was trying not to read it because I was getting so distracted.
I love the lizard ones.
Yeah.
Yes. So good. Okay, so we have a winner. So just a reminder, we put in all of the results and I put in bonus entries for the ones that I felt, a bit of a subjective process, but the ones I felt were extra creative that I saw come in. And our winner today for this prize is Mark McCart with the Merge and Plunder.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Mark.
Go Mark. Mark, I feel like you have a lot of FME swag, so I'll make sure whatever we send you, you don't already have.
Good call. Good call. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Well, I think we've wrapped up all of today's content with that. Is that right, team? We're good to wrap up. I don't see any new questions.
Yeah, doesn't look like any questions. We also don't want to give out too many hints.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah.
Best of luck, everyone. If you have a moment to fill out our webinar survey, we love to hear any feedback. Of course, today was a bit of a different webinar, and we hope you had just as much fun as we all did. Yeah, and best of luck. And we hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you can use the next 15 minutes to begin solving some more puzzles. yes, happy Thanksgiving to those in the States as well. I know that's week. Amazing.
Thanks, everyone. I think we're going to have to do more webinars with like pirate themed chat.
Yes, love that.
Agreed. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.